Hi, my name is Miss Emolyn, and I'm a teaching artist in the PACE Arts program, where we integrate the arts with classroom curriculum. We are coming to you today thanks to the Acadiana Center for the Arts and the Lafayette Parish school system in Lafayette, Louisiana. In today's art project, we are going to use all kinds of paper, and we're going to fold it and make fun chains that can be used to decorate your room, your house, or can be folded back up and mailed to a friend. It's a way that we can create people holding hands or hearts connected, and we can use and experiment with any shape that you happen to love. So think about some shapes that you like, or possibly some animals that you'll want to turn into an art project. We can use all kinds of paper, but because we're folding it and cutting it, we don't want it to be too thick. So think about newspaper paper. You can find it in a newspaper or unprinted in a roll. You can find plain white paper from a copy machine, and office paper. You can use magazine paper if there's a magazine in your house, or construction paper. We can also use tissue paper if we are really gentle with it. And I think that about covers it. But if we're using white paper or the newspaper style, we do want to color it and add some detail to it. So grab your markers, your crayons, your pens and pencils, and let's explore making these paper chains today. I'm going to start today's lesson by showing you some of the finished pieces, and then we will practice folding, drawing, and then cutting. So this is one that I made that is all hearts. So if I pick it up, you can see that there's color on one side and not on the other. I did the coloring before I did the cutting, and the folding, if you see each line is on the edge of the heart, it folds like an accordion. The accordion fold goes under and over and under and over. And the way you know it's going under and over is because the red is all on the same side. It doesn't go from red to white to red to white. This is a way of folding something where the top side stays on the top side of the fold no matter what. So if you look at it like this should look like an accordion. Let me move these pieces aside so you can see this easier. Okay? It comes out like an accordion. All the color is on one side and all of the white is on the other side. Okay? And here we have, if you unfold this way, and you have your chain of hearts. So we're gonna work on a heart chain, a person chain. Now this is just cut once, but when it's folded, you cut it once, and when you unfold it, it looks like everybody's holding hands. So let's fold this up accordion style. So it goes back, front, fold it back, fold it front, fold it back, fold it front, fold it back, and then this is where you cut. So you just cut one head, one body, and then when you unfold it, it stays together. Now the key for this is that you do not cut the edges, meaning it needs to stay connected somehow, like holding hands. So you don't cut this edge away and you don't cut this edge away. So that, same with both arms and both feet, so that when you undo the accordion, each person is still connected. Okay? Now, it would be fun if you want to decorate these people, if you can think of individual people and you want to try to match what they look like. If you have a group of friends, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 people that you can think of, you could decorate them But this one, I just left the color white of the page and I cut it. The red one I colored it first and then I cut it. And the last one I'm going to show you is each time you fold the page, this was a very long page and a very wide page. So this is a part of the fold that was cut away. So I'm going to use this to create something. And there was another one of these and I folded it up like an accordion and I just cut a circle into it. Okay, like this, and I cut a circle. And then I was thinking maybe I could make it look like the earth. We have the hearts, we have the people, and then we have the earth. So it's like we're telling a story with our chains. Okay, so I colored it blue like the water. Then I cut it into a circle, and because it was an accordion fold, I can unfold each earth, and we've got many, many ones all together. And then I took the pen and I outlined to make it look more like a planet. Okay? That's a finishing touch, and we'll get to that in 1 second. So, let's take a piece of paper and let's first use white paper that you will see if you do, if you have to print something out of the printer. Just white paper, and here's another. You can use this white paper as a single sheet, or you can tape these together and then your chain will be as long as the two pieces of paper. Okay, let's do the first one where we just fold our one piece of paper. But we don't want it as tall. It's a little bit harder to get a detailed design if it is so tall. So first, let's fold the big rectangle into a smaller rectangle. Taking the top side, meeting it with the bottom side, press your finger up to get a crease and push the crease with your finger. Okay? Then we open it up and we see a line in the middle, and that is where we're going to cut or tear. If you are a person who works with paper all the time, you notice that the more you fold on the line, the more flexible that line becomes, and you can just push and tear this piece of paper. But because I only folded it once, it's not a good crease yet, so I'm gonna cut it. So take your scissors and you hold your scissors in the hand that you write with, and you cut that piece of paper all the way down, making this one rectangle into two rectangles. Okay. Okay, take one of the rectangles away and let's practice our accordion fold. Now we know that we're going to do a simple shape for the first one, like let's do a circle. We want this to be wide enough to get a whole circle in there, but not too wide so that we can't get duplicates of the circle, meaning more than one circle. So we can do this accordion fold one of two ways. You can fold it all the way to the edge, crease, fold again. So this would be 4, crease, and we could leave it like that. It's a nice big shape of a circle, and also it's not too thick to cut. Or we could keep going and make a small circle. You can fold it as far as it'll go. See how it still folds? But you want to have a size that you like and where it's not too thick to cut. Okay? So for the first one, because it's going to be a test, we're going to keep it this size. But this is not an accordion fold, because when I fold it like this, I have the back side of the paper, because this was on the back. And then when I fold that over, that's now taking the back and putting it on the front. Remember how we want to have the front side always on the front? So what we're going to do is we're going to use these creases in order to fold. So the first one is going to be on that crease, and we're going to come forward, pressing it down. The second one, we need to go to the back. So we're going to press it down like that. And then the third fold, we're going to come back to the front, or we're going to come to the front again is what I meant to say, folding it to the front. This way, if we had just a little notch, let's see here, when we unfold, the front is always in the front. Can you see how that's always the front? With all those creases, it might be kind of difficult because I was demonstrating, so it's got a second crease there, but that is okay for now. Let's do actually a diamond shape because I want to keep this from being cut. The edges are what keep our paper together, okay? If we cut it to the point and we did not keep the edges together, we would come out with separate diamonds that were not connected. I can demonstrate that in a second, but let's try to do it correctly where we don't cut off the edge. Just like when we make snowflakes, you don't want to cut off the edge or it'll all fall apart. So I'm going to go from here to here. You can use a ruler or something to trace. And then I'm going to skip down so that I don't cut off the edge. And I'm going to go all the way to that point. Okay, same thing for the other side. See where the point is and make a point. And top one or bottom one, either one works. Go all the way to the top point. Doesn't have to be perfect. And all the way to the bottom point. Okay? Now let's cut it and unfold. Cut your first side all the way off. Noticing we're not going to start here. We're going to come down a little and we're going to cut that side. I'm turning it because I hold the scissors in my right hand. Okay, so this side has been cut and this side has been cut. Turn it again. We're going to get to the other side, so cut one corner. Drop down a little and then cut the last corner. Okay, now we will unfold. And we have our diamonds all connected. Moving this out of the way not to distract you from our cool images that we got. See that? This is the spot that we skipped, so that is why it is still connected. Okay? Now I'm going to do the accordion fold, but I'm going to cut it incorrectly, meaning I'm not going to make a space on the side. And I'm going to show you what happens when we do that. If this happens to you, this is why. Okay? So first, fold all the way over. We're going to use the paper to guide us. We're not going to leave it this way. We're just going to use the paper to guide us so that we can then open it back up and use these 4 creases to make our accordion. Okay? So this one's going to be folded up in the opposite direction. This one's going to be folded behind, which is the opposite direction of that crease. And then this one's folded up. Our last one's folded up, taking with it all of the other parts of the paper. Good. Okay, now say you are really going and you're really happy and you're like, I understand, and then you just sort of forget and you make your beautiful diamond. That wasn't a straight line, so I'm going to try one more time. And you make it reach over here. And then you say, I'm doing a diamond, so I'm going to make it reach down. And because I'm right-handed, I'm curving the paper so that I don't have to try to draw with my other side. And you say, I want to make a paper chain, and it's going to be a diamond. Okay? And then you cut each side, and you cut a diamond out. Now this would work if you're trying to duplicate the diamond, meaning you want to make more than one diamond. But guess what? It does not work if you're trying to do the chain where it's all connected. The reason it won't work is because, yes, we cut a diamond shape. Yes, that is a diamond, but we didn't leave a connection spot. Okay? And if we don't leave a connection spot and we try to unfold it, oh no! We just have a stack of diamonds. We don't have a connection spot. Okay? This one did, and that's why we've got this cool chain. Does that make sense? Great. Moving on. We don't want to dwell on our mistakes. Let's go to a new piece of paper and let's create our people. So take your big rectangle once again and fold it down. And then cut your sides. Cutting along the crease. You can draw that line so that you can see it better and cut the line, or you can see where the shadow hits the page and cut the crease. Whoop, loud noise. Moving this aside. Accordion fold, but we check it with one crease, fold and check it with another crease. And I'm going to make a little person, so I'm going to try to fold it one more time. Okay, this is creating a challenge, but let's see if we can do it. All right, now remember, these creases just show us where to fold the accordion. It is not actually an accordion yet, okay? So this one needs to come up, down, up, down, up, down, and up. Okay? And the way we're going to do this person, he's going to be nice and little. We're going to draw the whole head. So we want him to be nice and tall, and it's okay if you don't get it perfect the first time. Nice and round for the head. Come in where you can imagine there's a little neck. Then he's going to hold hands by reaching down. Okay? This is the connection right there. And then his waist and his legs. Okay? Do the same that you see. I know the sun's coming through the windows. Do the same thing on the other side. Go down. And then like that. And his legs. So he just looks like a tall stick figure right now. Okay? There we have it. Now this arm is a little bit smaller, but I can fix that by just cutting it thicker when I get to that spot. Okay? Now take your scissors. I usually start on the right hand side because I am right-handed, and I'm following the line, noticing that the fold is on the edge of the paper. So here is the head. So we don't have to attach it to the fold because the head is going to stand alone. So it is okay that we're not coming all the way back over to the connection point. Around the top of the head. And now we learn that we can turn the paper and the scissors at the same time so that it's easier to cut. Okay? Because this is a kind of a specific shape we're trying to accomplish. Now that was a little bit more narrow than I wanted, so I'm going to come around the shoulder and then I'm going to come out to the side. Okay, there is the top of his head. Moving this away. Let's work on the bottom. This is just a nice triangle right where his legs are. So let's cut that triangle. You go up to the point. Then you go up to the point on the other side. Diagonal lines meet in a point and then this should just come right away, these triangles, and you can pull them a little. There you go. The triangle came right out. Now let's work on the sides. So we've got a diagonal line, so go in, but this is his waist. Go up. Now, you can take the scissors away and do a second diagonal line and reach that corner. And that way it should be pretty easy to pull this shape out. There we go. Now, instead of trying to flip around with the scissors on the left side, I'm going to turn my man upside down so that my scissors can stay on the right side. And I'm going to cut right here. Okay? So first, cut up. Then I'm turning the little person. And I'm going down. Then I'm reaching all the way to the bottom. So I have not cut this side or this side so that he will remain connected. Okay? Double checking that. Open it up little by little, and you have such a cool chain with everybody standing together, holding hands. You can do some shadows this way. You can pull them farther, more narrow, make them stand like all kinds of ways. Okay? Great. Now, the last thing I want to show you is that the scraps, because we didn't cut off the edge, look, you can unfold the scraps. And that made a cool shape of its own. You can have them standing on this shape like that. Or you could attach like this, and you could tape it here and cut it and attach some on the other side so that when you hold it up, it's a longer chain. Okay? I'll show you at the very end a picture of all of these taped together so it's a very long chain that could go around a whole room. So don't forget about your scraps. Okay? Every shape tells a story. So if you get down to a smaller and smaller and smaller piece of paper, you end up with something that is getting smaller and smaller because you keep folding it in half, right? So if we took this, we could fold this in half. Then we can make an accordion. We cut it and make an accordion just with those folds and those shapes. So what it results in is a shape that is nice and long, but it is much smaller, meaning from height it's down low. So this one was done just by taking it and folding it like that, just the accordion folds. You can experiment with the accordion folds, okay? And if you want to tell a story, you can start coloring in all of our shapes, okay? Of course, these, if you want it to not move around so much, you have to press the folds flat. You could leave this under something heavy and it would make it work much better. Oh, there it goes. So if you decide to use all of your scraps, I thought it was really cool to make something that resembled the planet Earth. And I colored it green and blue like the water and the land. And I don't want you to forget, if you do something like this, you can go on top and you can trace it so that you can add detail. Okay? And then that gives so much more information to the drawing. It makes our eye look at it that much closer. And it also makes us understand that we're trying to communicate something. So these aren't exact shapes of countries, but it is a way to make our mind connect. Oh, that looks like the planet Earth. Okay? So I challenge you to try something like this, where you take a simple image and you add detail to that shape. This was just a circle. And you create something with a lot more information. See how cool is that? It doesn't look exactly like the Earth, but it really draws our attention to make us consider that it could be an Earth. The next thing you can do is, this was the heart shape. you could write the name of everybody that you're thinking of, everybody who needs a thought, and you could send this to somebody. So we could write something like, we could do our family right on the top. Could write their specific names. Let's say your brother's name is Tom and your sister's name is Sue, okay? Or you could write something that you love, anything that you love. You could say flowers, you could say sunshine, you could say friends. So I encourage you to do something like that. You could say, what's the last one? What should it be? A heart itself. Okay? And then you could put a story on the back, and you could fold it up and you could send it to somebody, and then when they open it up in their kitchen or something, they could hang it and they could remember something about you, and it would probably make them feel really happy. The last thing you can do is you can add detail to your people. So this was done with a smaller piece of paper, and this was done with a bigger piece of paper. So look and see how these people are different shapes and sizes. Okay? Also, don't forget that you can use magazine. All you would do is tear out the magazine paper, cut it into a rectangle, just like our white paper, right? Fold it, cut it, and then your people would look like the magazine. So, don't let it stop you. If you say you don't have white paper, just grab any kind of paper. And you could add detail like hair, eyes, nose, and a mouth. You could add color. So I challenge you to try to do something specific. Think of friends and be like, my friend always wore a blue t-shirt. So these are the sides of the t-shirt, and color it blue. Okay? There are all kinds of things you could do with this paper art. Just remember, accordion fold, keep the sides connected, and then they'll come out holding hands. All right, let's look at what they look like when they're all hung up and taped together. All right, here it is taped on the wall, and it was just a couple pieces of paper cut in different ways. Made that look like grass, but look how long it is. These are the people, and if you decorated them all, they would have different faces. Here are the hearts with the words. It is so long, just a couple pieces of paper. And here's the rest of the people holding a heart, a planet in his hands. And then all of the planets all connected, and this is our last shape. And it goes all the way across the wall. You can do so much just with a little bit of paper, pens, pencils, and an idea. I hope you enjoyed today's lesson and that it'll spark some ideas for future projects to come. We will be posting a new lesson every day at 10 a.m. on the Acadiana Center for the Arts YouTube channel for kindergarten, first, and second grades, each tied to the academic curriculum. You can also get these lessons as a part of the Learn United program, accessible on AOC on Cox Channel 16 or LUS Channel 4. Kindergarten lessons air at 8 and first and second grade at 9 a.m. Some lessons will be in visual art and some in creative movement, so be sure to come back tomorrow and make art with us. If you're interested in supporting programs like this, please visit acadianacenterforthearts.org, the nonprofit who manages the PACE program, and help us by spreading the word, sharing our videos, and keep making art.